Christian Martinez and I represented the United States of America in the Organization of American States.
My name is Ana Karina Martinez Ramos, and I represent the delegation of Canada, and I was part of the committee Interpol.
My name is Franz Ortiz, and I represented the delegation of Chile in the Committee of Organization of American States.
I'm Victoria Vallardo Rodriguez. I was president in my committee, ACNUR.
I was member of the Committee of Crisis, and I was representing the delegation of UK.
In this committee, we talk about two important topics: the measures to respond to the 2050 environmental crisis and the measurements to control the forced migration on American countries. The first topic was about how the countries of the world measures to control the climate change and what are they going to do about the plastic, and if they are willing to do something to decrease the production of plastic and the environmental crisis. This could be affecting the human rights because everyone has the right to have clean air and clean space to be in. Everyone has the right to have a nice place to live in. The second topic was about the immigrants of all countries and the reason why they decided to immigrate to other countries, mainly to the United States of America. And what does this country think about that? If the USA is willing to help the immigrants or if the delegation is just ignoring the problem and if only care about themselves. This topic obviously affects the human rights because we all have the right to protection and the right to live freely whatever we want. We have the right of security and to feel safe. The arguments in the first topic were most of the countries want to remove plastic because it's the worst waste in the planet and the cause of the excess of trash. But countries such as Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, United States did not want that because it's the main source of income in the US, and the countries that support it is because the one was willing to do a change and help the immigrants to have a better place to live. On the other hand, the delegation of the United States was not. The delegation did not want to change a thing and even threat the immigrants of not going to the USA. Participation. First topic. I did participate in this topic, maybe not a lot, but my participations were of my position and proposals from my delegation of what may change to help this problem. The second topic, I participate more in this topic because everyone wanted to know my position, and I put firm in my decision and explained the other delegations why I said what I said. In the first topic, in this topic were three groups of different opinions. The winner team was Mexico and Chile, with some proposals of the USA team. We all got into an agreement and we got into good terms. In the second topic, all the delegations against the USA because everyone supports the immigrants and the US did not. The delegation got into an agreement, but the US stayed against every proposal. And finally, in the first topic, the delegation of the United States is not supporting the idea of take away all the plastic and stop producing it because it's very important in the delegation's income. But in my opinion, that is not so bad in the economy area because countries such as Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, among other countries in America Latina, depend on the USA economy, and the fabrication of plastic is a huge income in this country. On the other hand, I think we just need to use wisely the use of plastic and do not use it deliberately to not damage more the environment. The produce of plastic do not need to end, but only make less portions so the environment do not seem very affected. In my opinion, of the second topic, the delegation of the United States, firstly, is not willing of doing any change or to improve the way of living to the ones that already have been caught up. In my perspective to this problem, the United States should help the immigrants to have a better way of living or at least take care of them as if they were American. Because at the end, we are people. Maybe there is already a lot of people in the United States, but maybe this delegation could help the immigrants to travel to other delegations like Canada or reach to Europe, but the delegation should not avoid this problem because they are lives in danger.
The topic K is about the prevention of crime of human trafficking worldwide. This benefits the human rights because the country is seeking for ways to end up this big problem in the society. Although this problem is not as big in Canada as in other countries, Canada also suffers of human trafficking. Therefore, Canada is building international partnerships that help prevent these crimes. Also has established many associations and has signed many treaties and conventions to support each country as well. Topic B is about the migrant smuggling. The purpose is to have numerous programs and services available for the migrant trafficking victims. That is why this topic benefits the human trafficking rights, because its intention is to make action in order to protect this type of abuse. The practice of migrant smuggling into Canada is significant enough to warrant the federal government. That is why Canada has developed an increasing international focus on combating migrant smuggling and trafficking in persons, and it's already taking regional and international action. Some of the delegations of my committee believe and were inclined to use violence to solve the migrant trafficking. They thought that the best solution to eradicate this problem was putting restrictions and punish the people who want to cross borders. In that way, we could eliminate the migrant smuggling and the migration, because without migrants there could be no migrant trafficking. However, the delegation of Canada was against this impulsive idea, and the delegation of other countries, including the delegation of Canada, preferred a more pacific way to solve it, so without affecting the migrants. So the proposal was, and we were waiting to establish more opportunities of employment, programs with better education and better security to solve this problem. Canada offers financial assistance to support the creation of new associations and international conventions that support the eradication of human trafficking, as well as he offers its soldiers and army to support countries that were in war. Also, he tried to know the position and status of other countries to understand its situation in order to help them. Canada had no problems with any of the delegations. Its posture was neutral. The only thing that Canada could do was offering help to other delegations. The strategies were that each delegation says its point of view and tells its opinion in order to evaluate and see the way to gather all the proposals together and that each country agreed with it. A thing that helped us a lot was that every country had an open mind. So at the end, the ideas the majority disagree on, the delegation, instead of getting angry, they understand it and they change its opinion, agreeing with the rest of us. At the end, the strategy that helped us the most was that we were united and that we could discuss this professionally and without taking it personal. We had a good communication. The priority of the government of Canada is to protect the safety and the security of the people. The human trafficking is intolerable in Canadian society, so its position is the same as in topic A, the prevention of crime of human trafficking worldwide. Because both at the end are against it, because morally and ethically it is wrong, and they are seeking of solutions to eliminate it. In topic B is the same. Unlawful immigration and other exploitation of Canada's immigration system cannot and will not be accepted in Canada. So Canada is against the migrants smuggling, as well as in topic B, migrant smuggling. Both cases they are looking for ways to eradicate the abuse and the mistreatment given to innocent people. So at the end, in both topics we have the same beliefs and the same ideology.
The first topic to discuss was measures to respond to the 2050 environmental crisis. If by 2030 measures are not taken to avoid the crisis in 2050, all the nations are going to be affected. They should consist on bringing up solutions that governments can put in use to reduce their CO2 emissions, since the global warming is the cause of this problem. All these effects that the global warming can have affect negatively human rights. But how? The issue is a major threat to human life, since our rights to life, health, food, and adequate standard of living are affected by climate change. It's only a matter of time until a crisis for food, shelter, water, and security starts. Topic B, forced migration over the American countries. Since many countries have financial, political, or other crises, a big part of the population starts to migrate to safer or more stable countries. If measures are not taken, we can have an overpopulation in some areas of the continent and can surpass the economic capacity of a country. Also, other consequences come along that harm human rights and safety of individuals. We also have the right of personal security, and also discrimination is a factor that violates the human right of equality. I consider that many delegations didn't focus on the main problem. They started to introduce plastic waste, and even though it's a problem to solve, our main goal was to reduce our carbon emissions. Many delegations had really good ideas, but they really didn't try to implement them during the sessions, or weren't really about the topic we were trying to discuss and solve. Now, about topic B. Many delegations, their main objective was to attack each other, while I only wanted to achieve a solution. Many delegations were dealing with migration and of the population, while Chile was receiving these migrants because the situation at that moment didn't force Chilean population to migrate. And at the end, I think many delegations focused more on trying to answer all the attacks they were receiving and actually trying to achieve a solution. About my participation, I think it was pretty good, since I always try to remind the other delegations to focus on the main problem, and I will give clear statements while I propose ideas or alliances that will benefit the other delegations or members economically. Information was a tool to create the benefiting resolution for Chile, actually. The use strategies depend on the delegate or the resolution block. For example, Mexico, Canada, and I were searching for other good delegates with the same objective as us, so we could stick together to write the resolution. Mexico's strategy was to create projects as well as Canada, but mine was to join them and try to speak with the other delegations about their national measures or their necessities or what they can give to these projects. And another strategy I applied was to let some information slip in our free time so the delegates can use it to ask me, but I had the answer since I let the information out on purpose. Chile's position about subject A is the same as mine, since we both agree that global warming is a threat to everyone's health and security. About topic B, I do understand why Chile asked for $50 for the humanitarian visa, but I think it's really a high price, since many people in Latin America cannot do an amount close to that. Finally, we both agree of the idea of using expired passport as identification documents.
I was president in my committee ACNUR, which was in Spanish, in this Model UN, MUN Guadalajara 2019. Like I said, my committee was in Spanish, so I'm going to say the names in Spanish. Topic A was eliminación de la explotación, abuso y acoso sexual de refugiados en continentes europeos. The goal was to create programs in European countries to prevent this from happening and to make it easier for the refugee to alert when this is happening, to report it. We can do something about it, so the country could do something about it. It has also the purpose to countries that were not from Europe to apport ideas, to make donations, to give monetary aid, and could send volunteers to help. They can, when I said apport ideas, to give ideas, I mean like ideas that had work in their country, to apport them for European countries to help create these programs and solve this problematic. Topic B was to garantizar los derechos humanos de los venezolanos en situación de migración forzada. This topic was to guarantee human rights of Venezuelan refugees in other countries. But this topic was kind of confusing for the delegates because they thought that being too far from Venezuela, they couldn't apport anything, but they can give ideas. Some countries misunderstood it and thought that they needed to help with the transportation, but the problem was not the transportation, it was that the human rights were not respected in their country. For example, Spain, they have a lot of Venezuelan refugees, but it's not how they get there, but it's how they are treated in the country. That was the main problem with this topic. It was also a very important topic because Venezuela needed to be and stay in its paper, which she did incredibly well. We needed United States, but United States did not came the second day, so she wasn't here during the topic B. The three delegations that worked the best was Canada, Cuba, and Venezuela. Like I said, Venezuela was very concentrated on its position about the problem and represented its country very well. Cuba, even though it couldn't do a lot, it gave ideas and helped other delegation to focus on the problem to be resolved, and gave a lot of ideas. And Canada basically took over the whole session, all the sessions. She was guiding everyone, and that was amazing. I'm very proud of my delegates because coming to the resolution was pretty easy because they were all very participative, but especially Canada, Cuba, and Venezuela. Coming to the resolution was easy, and with the help of a little help from the chair, we were able to send it and it was approved. The same thing happened with the crisis. It was solved almost immediately, and it was very well written. We checked that plenty of times, and I'm pretty proud of the result that we got. I was in charge of correcting position paper, and I had to give some warnings because they took the phone and some people were not really dressed well for the occasion. Also, I was in charge to correct and authorize things. For example, I cannot let people talk in my delegation, your delegation, direct contact. I had to authorize moderated calculus or simple calculus. What else? I am in favor of eliminating. I'm a woman. I'm in favor of the elimination of el abuso, acoso y explotación sexual. And of course, I think everybody deserves to be respected, and human rights are really important. And yeah, I'm in favor of guaranteeing these human rights to Venezuelans. I think that's all.
We have two topics, topic A and topic B. Topic A was about relationships with the US, and topic B was about migrants and actions to protect the human rights of them. But actually we didn't discuss about the topics. We discussed crisis. We have 5, and I think the most important one was about the attack of UK, France and US to the countries members of the Arab League, because these 3 countries thought that all the terrorist groups were based there and they were a threat to the world. I, that was representing UK, was saying that these countries were just trying to protect the world and all the countries because terrorist groups attack all the world and innocent people from all the countries. But the other delegates obviously were saying that we were, these 3 countries, UK, US and France, were just killing innocent people in countries of the Arab League. And the actions we discussed one of them was to remove the attack if the governments of countries in Middle East accepted the financial support and military support to remove or to remove the terrorist groups that were attacking all the world. This to prevent the violation to the human rights of innocent people, from kids or women and men that were just living in there. Also, another action was to exhort other governments to accept migrants or people that was fleeing their origin country, looking for better opportunities or just for a safer place.